Top 10 Things Retirees Regret Not Doing Sooner. Don't wait until it's too late. That's not just a catchy title. It's a warning straight from people who've already walked the road you are about to take. Because here is the uncomfortable truth. Most retirees don't look back with pride on every decision. They look back and say, if only I had done this sooner. And that's the trap many people fall into, thinking they have more time. But time doesn't care about your plans. Studies show nearly 65% of retirees admit to having at least one major regret about their choices. Not a small one, not a wish I'd bought a different car kind of regret, but life-shaping, happiness-defining regrets that could have been avoided. Now here's the truth. You won't find these lessons in a glossy retirement brochure or a financial planner's sales pitch. These are the regrets people whisper about after the fact. The ones that sting the most when it's too late to fix them. So if you want to sidestep those pitfalls and set yourself up for a retirement that's not just comfortable but deeply fulfilling, stick with me. Welcome to Restful Wealth, where we turn retirement into opportunity, not regret. If that sounds like the kind of future you want, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right in. Number 10. Staying too long in stressful jobs. Let's be honest, work can be stressful, but some retirees look back and realize they spent way too much of their life stuck in jobs that were draining the joy right out of them. The paycheck might have been steady, the benefits decent, and the coffee machine free. But at what cost? For many, the regret is that they sacrificed their health, their happiness, and sometimes even their relationships, all in the name of job security. Here's the catch. Research shows that chronic stress doesn't just make you grumpy at the office, it literally shortens your life. The American Psychological Association notes that long-term job stress is linked to higher risks of heart disease, depression, and even memory loss. Translation? Those years you thought you were buying time at a bad job may have been quietly taking time away from you. And the cruel irony? By the time retirement finally rolls around, many discover they could have lived with a little less money and a whole lot more peace. Instead of white-knuckling it through a miserable career, they could have downsized, changed fields, or started that side hustle they always dreamed about. Some retirees even admit that when they finally left the toxic workplace, doors opened they never imagined. Passions reignited, creativity flowed, and life felt lighter. Think about it this way. Staying in a bad job is like sitting on a splintered chair. Sure, you can manage for a while, but eventually it leaves you sore in places you didn't even know could hurt. Looking back, retirees often wish they'd stood up sooner and found a better seat, one that didn't poke holes in their health and spirit. So the lesson here? Don't let security trap you in misery. Money is important, yes, but peace of mind and health are priceless. And no paycheck in the world is worth retiring into regret. Number 9. Not downsizing earlier. If there is one thing many retirees kick themselves over, it's holding on to that big family house long after it stopped making sense. Sure, it was great when kids were running through the halls and the backyard was full of birthday parties and barbecues. But once the kids are grown and the house feels more like an echo chamber than a home, maintaining it can start to feel like running a marathon with a backpack full of bricks. Here's the reality. A large home comes with large bills. Property taxes, utilities, repairs, it all adds up. According to housing studies, the average homeowner spends between 1% and 4% of their home's value on maintenance every year. So, if you are living in a $400,000 house, that's up to $16,000 annually just to keep the place from falling apart. And let's be honest, how many retirees really want to spend their golden years comparing quotes from roofers and plumbers? Downsizing earlier could have freed up equity and trimmed those expenses, giving retirees more breathing room in their budget. Smaller homes mean smaller bills, less cleaning, and fewer headaches. It also opens the door, literally, to new opportunities. With less stuff tying them down, retirees could have traveled more, picked up hobbies, or even just enjoyed a Saturday morning without wrestling with a jungle of yard work. And here's the funny part. People often think they will miss their space, but many retirees discover that less house equals more life. A cozy, manageable home can actually feel more liberating than a sprawling one. It's like switching from a gas-guzzling SUV you hate parking to a zippy little car that gets you everywhere you want with less stress. The bottom line? Don't wait until the house becomes a burden. Downsizing sooner isn't about giving up. It's about leveling up your retirement lifestyle. After all, the less time you spend fixing faucets, the more time you will have for, well, actually enjoying retirement. Number 8. Not building a social circle outside of work. One of the sneakiest surprises of retirement is realizing just how many of your friendships were tied to your job. Think about it, the coworkers you grabbed coffee with, the team lunches, the after-work happy hours. When the job ends, so do most of those connections. And suddenly, retirees find themselves asking, wait, who do I actually hang out with now? Here's the tough truth. Loneliness in retirement isn't just feeling a little bored. It can be downright dangerous. Studies show that chronic loneliness is as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Yes, you heard that right. Not having friends can be just as bad as chain smoking. It's linked to higher risks of depression, dementia, and even heart disease. Not exactly the peaceful golden years anyone dreams of. On the flip side, those who invested in building social circles outside of work, through clubs, volunteering, church groups, or even just being that neighbor who always waves, report a much richer and happier retirement. Community doesn't just fill your calendar, it fills your heart. And let's face it, nobody wants to be the retiree sitting at home watching reruns and talking back to the TV for company. Friends keep you active, engaged, and laughing, which is basically medicine money can't buy. Plus, social connections make those hobbies, travels, and new adventures 10 times better when shared. So, what's the lesson here? Don't wait until you retire to realize your phone has stopped ringing. Start nurturing friendships now that aren't dependent on your job title. Go join that book club, volunteer at the local shelter, or take that dance class you've been secretly curious about. Retirement is sweeter when you have people to share it with. Because at the end of the day, money might keep the lights on, but it's friendship that makes life shine. Number 7. Delaying travel and adventure. Someday. It's the most dangerous word in retirement planning. Someday I will take that trip. Someday I will visit the grandkids across the country. Someday I will finally see Paris, or at least Pittsburgh. The problem is, health and energy don't wait for someday. By the time many retirees finally have the time, they realize they don't quite have the knees, the stamina, or the patience for airport security anymore. Research backs this up. According to a Merrill Lynch study, more than 2/3 of retirees regret not traveling earlier when they had the energy to do it comfortably. The sad truth is that adventures postponed too long often become adventures abandoned. That cross-country road trip looks less exciting when long car rides turn into backaches. That hike in the Rockies? Suddenly off the list when the doctor says, better stick to flat ground. Here's the thing. Adventure doesn't always mean jet-setting around the globe. It could be as simple as taking a weekend road trip, exploring a nearby town, or finally visiting that national park 2 hours away. Even these modest adventures become harder to enjoy later if mobility and energy aren't on your side. And let's not forget the emotional side of it. Travel creates memories, not just souvenirs. It's the story you tell for years, the laugh you share with family, the sunset you will never forget. Those moments are priceless, and you can't put them off forever. So what's the takeaway? Don't keep postponing travel until the perfect time, because, spoiler alert, there is no perfect time. Take the trip, book the ticket, gas up the car. Even small adventures count. Retirees who seize those moments earlier say they lived fuller, richer lives, not because they had more money, but because they had fewer regrets. After all, nobody ever says, I wish I had waited longer to enjoy myself. Number 6. Ignoring health habits in their 50s and 60s. When you are in your 50s and 60s, it's easy to think you've still got plenty of time before health becomes a real issue. After all, the knees still bend, mostly, the cholesterol number isn't that bad, and hey, walking to the fridge counts as exercise, right? But here's the catch. Ignoring health habits in midlife is one of the biggest regrets retirees carry with them. Skipping checkups, brushing off aches, neglecting exercise, or eating whatever's convenient might not feel like a big deal in the moment, but it compounds faster than interest on a bad credit card. By retirement, those small choices often make the difference between years of active travel and adventure, or years spent shuffling between doctor's offices. The statistics don't lie. The CDC reports that nearly 80% of older adults have at least one chronic health condition and 50% have two or more. Many of these issues, heart disease, diabetes, mobility problems, are tied directly to habits formed in the decades before retirement. Translation: what you do in your 50s and 60s doesn't just affect your waistline, it shapes your retirement lifestyle. And here's the irony. Many people treated their 401k with more care than their own body. They checked their investments daily, but ignored the portfolio of their health: exercise, diet, sleep, and preventive care. Retirees often wish they had realized sooner that no financial nest egg can buy back mobility or vitality once it's gone. Think of your body like a classic car. If you keep it tuned up, it will run smooth for years. Ignore the maintenance, and you will be stuck on the side of the road watching others cruise by. The lesson here? Take health as seriously as wealth. Small, consistent habits, walking, stretching, eating real food, and going for regular checkups are like deposits in your future lifestyle bank. Retirees often say they would trade a few dollars for a few more healthy years, because at the end of the day, money can fund retirement. But only health lets you enjoy it. We've made it halfway through our countdown of the top 10 things retirees regret not doing sooner. Don't wait until it's too late. If you're still with me, thank you. It means you care about making the most of your retirement years. If you're getting value from this video, take a second to hit the like button. It really helps more people find this kind of content. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Restful Wealth so you don't miss the rest of this series. All right, let's jump into the top 5. These are the regrets retirees say hit the hardest, and you'll definitely want to hear them. Number 5. Failing to plan finances beyond savings. Most people think retirement planning is all about saving. Just stash money in a 401k, an IRA, or a savings account and you're set, right? Well, not exactly. Saving is only step 1. What trips up many retirees is what comes after the saving. How to actually use that money wisely once you're no longer getting a paycheck. Here's the hard truth. A pile of money can shrink faster than you think if you don't understand taxes, Social Security timing, and withdrawal strategies. Retirees often regret leaving money on the table simply because they didn't know the rules. For example, claim Social Security too early, and you could lose out on hundreds of dollars every month for the rest of your life. Withdraw from your accounts in the wrong order, and you might end up giving Uncle Sam way more than his fair share. The numbers are eye-opening. According to Fidelity, the average retiree could increase their lifetime retirement income by tens of thousands of dollars just by optimizing Social Security benefits. Add in smart tax planning, like Roth conversions, required minimum distribution strategies, or even moving to a lower tax state, and the difference can be like flying economy versus first class. Both get you there, but one feels a whole lot more comfortable. Here's the funny part. Money without a plan is like a refrigerator without shelves. Sure, you can throw food in there, but it's going to be a disorganized mess, and something's bound to spoil. A good plan, on the other hand, makes everything easier to find and last longer. So the big takeaway? Don't just save, strategize. Meet with a financial advisor, learn the tax rules, and understand how your income streams work together. Smart planning could mean thousands more dollars in your pocket every year. Money that could fund travel, hobbies, or simply a stress-free retirement. Because the regret of "I didn't save enough" is tough, but the regret of "I saved enough and still wasted it" might be even worse. Number 4. Putting off estate planning. If there is one topic people love to procrastinate on, it's estate planning. Let's face it, nobody enjoys sitting down and thinking about wills, trusts, or what happens when the time comes. It feels heavy, complicated, and about as fun as reading the fine print on a cell phone contract. But here's the catch. Ignoring estate planning doesn't make the problem go away. It just leaves your loved ones with a mess they never asked for. Many retirees regret putting this off because when the inevitable happens, families are left untangling costly probate battles, arguing over what mom or dad would have wanted, and paying lawyers instead of paying for grandkids' college. According to AARP, nearly 60% of Americans don't have a will, and the fallout can be brutal. Without clear instructions, state laws decide who gets what. And trust me, the state isn't famous for fairness or efficiency. Estate planning isn't just about money, it's about peace. A will, a trust, and up-to-date beneficiary designations are like a roadmap for your family. It removes the guesswork and prevents stress at a time when they should be grieving, not lawyering up. Think of it as one final gift of love: clarity. And here's where it gets practical. A little paperwork now could save your family thousands later. Updating a will can cost less than a fancy dinner out, but failing to do it could cost your heirs months or even years of court delays. Not exactly the legacy most retirees want to leave behind. Here is the funny part. Avoiding estate planning is like refusing to write a grocery list and then being shocked when you come home with 5 bags of chips and no milk. Chaos is the natural result. The lesson? Don't wait. Get your estate plan done while you are healthy, clear-headed, and able to make decisions. Retirees who took this step earlier say it gave them peace of mind, knowing their family would not be left scrambling. Because in the end, estate planning isn't about death. It's about making life easier for the people you love most. Number 3, not relocating sooner. One of the biggest regrets retirees talk about is waiting too long to make a move, literally. Whether it's downsizing to a cheaper city, chasing sunshine in a warmer climate, or even starting fresh abroad, many say they wish they had relocated sooner, instead of dragging their feet until it felt too late. Here's why. Moving is a lot easier when you are still relatively young, healthy, and flexible. Relocating earlier means more time to explore your new surroundings, join local clubs, make new friends, and actually enjoy building a new chapter. But wait too long, and what once felt like an adventure starts to feel like an exhausting chore. Suddenly, unpacking boxes is a backache waiting to happen, and meeting new people feels harder when energy is low and routines are set in stone. The numbers back this up. According to a survey by Merrill Lynch, about 37% of retirees move when they first retire, but those who waited often admitted they struggled to adjust. By delaying, many ended up saying, "I feel too old to start over." And here's the thing. Relocating sooner could also mean saving money. Housing costs, taxes, and healthcare vary wildly depending on location. A move to a lower-cost area in your 60s could free up thousands of dollars a year. Money that could go toward travel, hobbies, or simply peace of mind. Think of it like planting a tree. The best time to do it was 20 years ago. The second best time? Today. The longer you wait, the fewer seasons you get to enjoy its shade. So if relocation has been on your radar, whether it's closer to family, near the beach, or in a community built for retirees, don't leave it for the someday list. Retirees who took the leap earlier say it gave them not just a new address, but a whole new lease on life. Number 2, not prioritizing relationships and family time. Ask most retirees what they regret, and the answer isn't usually, "I wish I had spent more time in the office." It's, "I wish I'd spent more time with the people I love." Yet during their working years, many let family time get pushed aside by deadlines, bills, and that dangerous little word, someday. Someday I'll take the kids on that trip. Someday I'll host more family dinners. Someday I'll spend more time with the grandkids, and then someday never comes. The truth is, missed milestones have a way of haunting us. Retirees often look back and realize they skipped too many little moments: the school plays, the Sunday dinners, the phone calls that could have lasted longer. Grandkids grew up faster than expected, parents passed on, or siblings drifted apart. Suddenly, the people who mattered most were no longer within reach. And here's the sobering part. Studies consistently show that strong relationships are the biggest predictor of happiness and longevity in retirement, even more than money. The famous Harvard study of adult development found that good relationships keep us healthier and happier, while loneliness and neglect can shorten lifespans. Translation? Relationships are the real retirement plan. But let's add a little humor here. Imagine working your whole life, building savings, and finally retiring. only to realize nobody wants to play golf with you because you never made time for people when it counted. That's not the dream anyone's chasing. The lesson is simple but profound. Money pays the bills, but love pays the soul. A retirement account can grow back if the market dips, but time with loved ones never refills once it's gone. So call your kids, hug your grandkids, schedule that family dinner, or reconnect with that old friend. Retirees say the greatest joy isn't found in their bank accounts. It's found around the table with the people they love. Because at the end of the day, it's not the stuff you bought or the hours you worked that you remember. It's the laughter, the hugs, and the memories you made along the way. Number 1, not enjoying the journey sooner. If there is one regret that towers above all the others, it's this: waiting for the perfect time to enjoy life, a time that for most people never actually arrives. Retirees often say they spent so many years focused on saving, working, and planning for someday that they forgot to actually live in the moment along the way. Think about it. How many times have you said, "I will take that trip when the kids are older," or "we will celebrate after the next big project at work," or "we will have fun once we're more financially secure"? For many retirees, those next times piled up into a lifetime of missed opportunities. And by the time they finally stopped to catch their breath, they realized the moment they were waiting for had quietly passed them by. The statistics echo this reality. Surveys show that nearly 70% of retirees wish they had enjoyed life more while they were younger, even if it meant spending a little extra along the way. Many openly admit they would gladly trade a few dollars in the bank today for a few more priceless memories with loved ones. Here's the funny part. Planning every detail of your retirement but forgetting to enjoy the ride is like baking a gorgeous cake and then never eating a slice. Sure, it looks impressive, but what's the point if you never taste the sweetness? The big lesson here is balance. Yes, saving and planning are crucial. Nobody's saying throw caution to the wind. But don't let tomorrow rob you of today. Even small joys, a weekend getaway, a picnic with family, or a hobby you've always wanted to try, can make the journey richer and more meaningful. Because at the end of the day, life isn't a dress rehearsal for retirement. Retirement is just another chapter. The real story is written along the way. And the happiest retirees are the ones who didn't just plan for the future, they made sure to savor the present. And there you have it, the top 10 things retirees regret not doing sooner. Don't wait until it's too late. If there's one theme that runs through every single regret, it's this: waiting. Waiting to travel, waiting to downsize, waiting to reconnect, waiting to actually live. The truth is, time is the one investment we can never earn back. And retirees who've walked this road before us remind us that the biggest risk isn't running out of money, it's running out of moments. So my challenge to you is simple. Don't wait. Start small. Start today, but start living the retirement and the life you've always wanted. Because the only thing worse than looking back with financial regrets is looking back with life regrets. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who's planning for retirement, and subscribe to Restful Wealth for more insights that make your money and your golden years go further. Until next time, live simply, dream big, and don't forget the sunscreen.